10 times Naruto was smarter than he lets on. Naruto Uzumaki is often called a knucklehead, but he can be rather insightful and resourceful at times, taking everyone by surprise. The hero of the Naruto series is none other than Naruto Uzumaki himself, and he made a distinct impression when he first appeared as a 12-year-old academy student. Naruto was known for being hyperactive, competitive, headstrong, and rather dense, and everyone wrote him off as a problem child with no future. But they were all about to be proven wrong. Naruto has a lot of guts and courage on his side. And at times, this hyperactive, knuckle-headed ninja proved himself to be rather cunning and clever, too. Naruto had always been a prankster with a good heart, and more than a few times. He displayed remarkable tactical thinking, earthly wisdom, and sheer talent. When did Naruto shock everyone with his mind? 10. When Naruto fooled Zabuza Momochi. One of Naruto's first ever challenges was the rogue swordsman Zabuza Momochi, who managed to get the edge on Kakashi Hatake and trap him in a water prison jutsu. Kakashi urged his genin teammates to flee, but instead, Naruto and Sasuke Uchiha hatched a plan to strike back. With Sasuke's help, Naruto used a few shadow clones and ninja tools to fool Zabuza into thinking that he was using a shuriken-based plan of attack. However, Naruto had turned one of his clones into a windmill shuriken, and once the clone transformed back, it threw a kunai knife, forcing Zabuza to release Kakashi. 9. When Naruto copied his team during the Chunin exams. During the Forest of Death sequence of the Chunin exams, Naruto's team was reinforced by Kabuto Yakushi, who was posing as a Leaf Village ninja at the time. The 4-ninja team later got surrounded by hostile ninja who used genjutsu to put Naruto's team on the defensive. Naruto had a plan, to turn his shadow clones into copies of Sakura, Sasuke, and Kabuto, and fool his foes into thinking that Naruto's team was worn out. Then, the real Team 7 hit back, and they won the day. 8. When Naruto defeated Neji Hyuga. Later in the Chunin exam arc, Naruto had to fight the powerhouse Neji Hyuga alone, and Neji's fearsome taijutsu and Byakugan eyes were too much for Naruto to handle at first. Then, Naruto evened the odds with his demon fox chakra, and then he disoriented Neji with a cunning trick. Neji lowered his guard when he saw Naruto's shadow clone laying in defeat. And then Naruto erupted from underground to avoid Neji's all-seeing eyes and strike him from below, winning the match. Everyone gave Naruto a round of applause for that. 7. When Naruto swayed Gaara with words. Naruto and Gaara fought as one Jinchuriki versus another during Orochimaru's plan to destroy the Leaf Village, and they exhausted one another. Then Naruto proved himself as a persuasive and heartfelt speaker, using his now famous talk no jutsu on Gaara. Like Gaara, Naruto had grown up as a pariah, and it hurt. But he also had a few friends who accepted him. And Naruto would fight to the end for their sake. Naruto's heartfelt and carefully chosen words won Gaara over, and Gaara's life was changed forever. No one else could have talked Gaara out of his hateful rampage like that. 6. When Naruto threatened spoilers to Kakashi. Early in the series, Kakashi subjected Team 7 to the Bell test, and early in Naruto Shippuden, Naruto and his teammate Sakura Haruno took the test once again. The odds were much more even this time, but Naruto was still struggling. Then Naruto zeroed in on Kakashi's weakness, his love of Jiraiya's X-rated books, so he threatened to say a huge spoiler. Kakashi covered his ears, then shut his eyes to avoid reading Naruto's lips with his Sharingan eye. That left Kakashi vulnerable, and Naruto and Sakura took the bells. 5. When Naruto developed the Wind Release Rasengan. Naruto is always ready to learn a new jutsu, and he is resourceful when it comes to chakra and the use of his shadow clones. He already used a clone to make the original Rasengan, and when Naruto decided to use his natural wind-based chakra, he got creative once again. Naruto struggled to make a wind-based Rasengan alone. So he used a clone, split the two chakra types between himself and the clone. The end result was a powerful and remarkable new jutsu, the Wind Release Rasengan. 4. When Naruto used clones to supply him with extra nature energy. Later on, the Almighty Pain prepared to destroy all of the Leaf Village and its inhabitants, and only Naruto could stop him. By now, Naruto could use Sage Mode and fuel himself with nature energy, but he can only take so much energy with him. So, he used the Shadow Clone Jutsu to find a solution. Naruto has long since realized that the Shadow Clone Jutsu can solve nearly any problem. And this time, Naruto left two clones behind at Mount Mayaboku and used scrolls to draw a constant stream of nature energy from them. Not even Jiraiya thought of that. 3. When Naruto swayed Obito Uchiha. Naruto's Talk no Jutsu struck again when he faced Obito Uchiha, who had been a pawn of Madara Uchiha this entire time. Obito sought peace and stability for the world, lamenting the apparent fact that the world would always dissolve into chaos and strife. However, Naruto felt differently. Yes, the world is a chaotic place, but that's just its nature. And there is good in it, too. A worldwide genjutsu is not the answer. Instead, facing the chaotic future with trusted comrades was the best way, and Obito was convinced. Not just anyone could have talked Obito out of his villainous plan like that. 2. When Naruto confused Kagaya Otsutsuki. At some point, the jutsu and schemes of Naruto became so convoluted and intense, the best solution was to return to the basics. Even a simple-minded jutsu or plan can work if the enemy isn't expecting it. And that's what Naruto was thinking when he faced Kagaya Otsutsuki personally. Naruto had pranked people before with the sexy jutsu, but this time, he had a special treat, the reverse harem sexy jutsu. Surrounding Kagaya with nude male suitors. Kagaya was speechless, and that left her vulnerable to a counterattack. Sakura could hardly believe her eyes. 1. When Naruto fought Delta. During the events of Boruto, Naruto went up against Delta and her shinobi-wear enhancements. Naruto decided to play possum against Delta and feign defeat and his full power to fool Delta into lowering her guard. Though she saw through it. Naruto also realized that Delta's upgraded eye could be overwhelmed with a vast quantity of chakra, and with this brute force but clever method, Naruto overcame Delta at last.